The 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 is heading to dealerships with 4 engine options that all share one troubling reality. Every single powertrain carries at least one systemic flaw that could leave you facing repair bills exceeding $10,000 once your warranty runs out. If you're shopping for a Sierra and hoping to avoid a financial disaster, you need to understand the 5 critical engine and transmission concerns that could bankrupt you. These aren't minor issues, they're documented defects backed by class action lawsuits, federal recalls, and thousands of owner complaints that GM still hasn't fully resolved. Let's check them out. Number 5. Duramax troubles. The 3-liter Duramax turbo diesel offers exceptional fuel economy and 495 pound-feet of torque, but it carries the single highest financial risk of any powertrain option in the 2026 Sierra lineup. We're talking about the catastrophic failure of the high-pressure fuel pump, a failure that can destroy your entire fuel system. The high-pressure fuel pump operates under extreme pressures and relies on fuel itself for internal lubrication. Modern ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel lacks the natural lubricating properties that older diesel fuel had. Without adequate lubrication, the precision internal components of the HPFP begin to wear, and eventually the pump starts disintegrating from the inside. When this happens, the pump sheds microscopic metal shavings into your fuel system. Because the Duramax uses a closed-loop common rail design, these metal contaminants circulate under extreme pressure throughout the entire high-pressure side of the engine. The debris destroys the high-precision fuel injectors, fuel rails, and high-pressure fuel lines. Unlike a simple pump replacement, contamination requires comprehensive intervention. You're looking at simultaneously replacing the HPFP, all 6 fuel injectors, the fuel rails, all high-pressure fuel lines, and often the fuel tank to ensure every trace of debris is eliminated. This is a complete fuel system overhaul, and the cost regularly exceeds $10,000. On a high-mileage truck, this expense can easily result in the vehicle being declared a total loss. There's another hidden cost. The engine uses a wet belt, a timing belt running in oil, to drive the internal oil pump. This belt requires mandatory replacement every 150,000 to 200,000 miles. Because the belt sits inside the engine's bell housing, replacing it requires complete transmission removal. The estimated cost for this single service, approximately $3,000. When you factor in the catastrophic HPFP risk and the mandatory $3,000 belt service, the economic advantage of diesel fuel efficiency starts looking questionable. And if you thought the diesel's fuel system nightmare was bad, wait until you hear about the V8 engines and their infamous lifter problems that can leave you stranded. Number 4. V8 lifter failures. If you're considering the 5.3-liter or 6.2-liter V8 engines, you need to understand the most expensive failure risk in the entire Sierra lineup: dynamic fuel management lifter failure. This issue has been plaguing GM V8 engines since 2014, and the 2026 models still carry this systemic weakness. Dynamic fuel management allows the engine to run on as few as 4 cylinders to improve fuel economy. The system uses specialized hydraulic lifters controlled by engine oil pressure. This constant cycling of the lifter mechanism creates a fundamental mechanical weakness. The problem occurs when one or more of these lifters fail to operate correctly, becoming stuck. When a lifter sticks, the resulting friction and impact cause severe damage, grinding down the camshaft, bending push rods, and sending metallic debris throughout the top end of your engine. This failure typically happens suddenly. You'll experience a hard engine misfire, significant power loss, and often need immediate roadside assistance. It's a catastrophic failure event that can leave you stranded. For owners outside the 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty, the repair involves replacing the affected lifters, the camshaft, and often additional valve train components. Estimates commonly range from $9,000 to $12,000. This isn't a rare defect. The failure rate has been high enough to spawn widespread class action litigation. Yet General Motors still hasn't implemented a definitive mechanical solution. Some owners install aftermarket devices to electronically disable the DFM system. While this reduces risk, it only provides partial protection. The complex collapsible lifters remain inside your engine. The only true fix is a full mechanical DFM delete, replacing the complex components with conventional lifters. This is an expensive procedure that typically voids your factory powertrain warranty. But as catastrophic as the V8's lifter failures are, if you're thinking the base Turbo 4 engine will help you avoid these issues, you need to hear about the structural durability concerns that come with it. Number 3. Turbo 4 durability. The 2.7-liter Duramax 4-cylinder might look impressive with 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque, But extracting V8 level performance from a small displacement engine creates serious long-term durability concerns. Mechanics and owners are reporting that forcing this highly boosted four-cylinder to handle full-size truck duties is taking a heavy toll on internal components. When you're asking a 2.7-liter engine to tow heavy trailers or haul significant payloads, it's operating under continuous intense mechanical and thermal loads. This is accelerating wear on critical components, particularly the timing chain and potentially the head gasket. When a timing chain fails, it's catastrophic. The chain can skip or break, causing the pistons to collide with the valves. You're looking at a complete engine overhaul or replacement, with repair costs potentially reaching 5 figures. The 2.7-liter also shows extreme sensitivity to oil condition. Reports of excessive oil consumption are surfacing, and if oil levels drop or quality degrades, the risk of timing system failure increases dramatically. There's another critical weak point: the high-pressure fuel pump. Premature HPFP failures are being documented, with symptoms including hard starts, whining noises, and eventually severe power loss or sudden stalling. A complete HPFP failure while driving represents a serious safety risk. If the pump can't maintain the required fuel pressure under load, the engine will hesitate, surge, or stall unexpectedly, potentially in traffic. So the turboforce structural problems are concerning enough, but the system that's supposed to deliver power smoothly to your wheels has its own set of serious problems. Number 2. Transmission troubles. The transmission situation depends entirely on which engine you choose, and unfortunately, neither option has a clean reliability record. The 2.7-liter Turbo 4 gets the 8-speed automatic. Choose a V8 or the Duramax diesel, and you're paired with the 10-speed automatic. Both have documented issues that have led to class action lawsuits and federal recalls. The 8-speed transmission has become infamous for transmission shudder. Owners report jerkiness, harsh shifts, hesitation, clunking sounds, and vibration during low-speed driving. These aren't isolated complaints. They've led to numerous technical service bulletins and a large-scale class action lawsuit against General Motors. The root cause traces back to the torque converter's internal lockup clutch assembly. The friction materials are inadequate for anything beyond light-duty driving. When you tow haul or accelerate aggressively, the clutch materials break down prematurely. A proper fix frequently requires replacing the entire torque converter and sometimes related hydraulic components. The 10-speed automatic carries an even more serious defect, a legitimate safety hazard. In late 2024, a problem was identified where the rear wheels can momentarily lock up while driving at highway speeds. This led to a mandatory recall affecting thousands of trucks. GM's recall solution involves installing a Gen 3 valve body fix, but independent transmission specialists have raised serious concerns. Some experts believe GM's solution is just a band-aid that doesn't fix the fundamental oil leakage issue inside the valve body. But transmission problems are just the beginning of your maintenance worries, because all gasoline engines share one more hidden enemy that's slowly killing performance. Number 1. Direct injection troubles. Every gasoline engine in the 2026 Sierra lineup, the 2.7-liter Turbo 4, the 5.3-liter V8, and the 6.2-liter V8 is going to face the same hidden enemy: carbon deposits accumulating on your intake valves. This isn't some rare defect. It's a built-in consequence of direct injection technology that every Sierra owner needs to budget for. Traditional fuel injection systems spray gasoline into the intake manifold, and those fuel droplets wash the backs of your intake valves, keeping them clean. Direct injection bypasses that entirely. The fuel goes straight into the combustion chamber, but your intake valves never get cleaned anymore. Oil vapor and exhaust gases flow back through the intake tract. These oily vapors bake onto the hot intake valve surfaces, forming hard, crusty carbon deposits. At first, you won't notice much, maybe a slight drop in fuel economy or sluggish acceleration, but as these deposits grow thicker, they interfere with airflow into the cylinders. Those impressive horsepower and torque numbers GM advertises start eroding. Your Sierra begins running rough at idle, hesitating under load, and eventually the valves can't seat properly. You'll start seeing cylinder misfires and the check engine light. The fix requires walnut blasting, where technicians blast fine walnut shell media into the intake ports to physically scrub the carbon off. This service requires significant disassembly of your intake system. You're looking at this service every 60,000 to 100,000 miles. This represents a hidden maintenance cost that owners of older port injection trucks never had to deal with. Every powertrain option in the 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 carries documented systemic reliability risks that could cost you thousands in unexpected repairs. If you're moving forward with a Sierra purchase, understand exactly which risks you're accepting, implement aggressive preventative maintenance from day one, and budget for expensive repairs the moment your warranty expires. But even with these potential issues, Sierra remains a truck with solid powertrain options. If you want to learn more about these engines, particularly their positive sides, you must check out our video that gives a detailed explanation of each engine. Strong performance, excellent work capabilities, and variety are things that set Sierra 1500 apart from some of its key competitors.